I'm cooked. This chapter is cooked.
Ordering.
Gang, I've been dragging my feet making this chapter review because I have no idea what to do with this. This is probably the first time in a long time that I've been completely stumped. I usually can drag a theory in here and stretch it to the world, but this is the first time where I am distraught, I am stressed, I am upset, because I don't know what the CU's doing with this, okay? We were heading into a solid direction where we could see the plot and we can kind of make out what's going on. This chapter has thrown everything out the window, and I don't know what to do with it, okay? So first and foremost, this chapter is a 5 out of 10 for me. Maybe because I'm not smart enough to comprehend what's happening. That's fine. I'll accept that. But, gang, this timeline has completely cooked me. So let me just go through the review. And I think for the first time ever, I'm gonna do a fire sale on a bunch of different that could be possibly happening, but with absolutely no basis to prove it, okay? So when I throw out these stuff, I'll name them, but I have no proof behind any of it. I'm just guessing, all right? So the chapter leaves off with literally the stuff I don't care about. I'm sorry, but this stuff has made me really not care about this. Cheongyam is sitting with Pig on the throne, and he's, of course, being very lecturous to the women, of course, the princess, and then him seeing Neo and thinking Neo's a woman. And then we see Cheongyam recognizes Neo as Leo, which is crazy because I already told y'all I was calling Leo anyway, but that turns out to be his name. Is really, really crazy. Buy all in. Everybody buy all in on this one, all right? I think Neo is Leo from the Frozen timeline, okay? I think they are the same person. I said that they were twins before. I take it back. I think Neo and Leo are the same person. And with that, get in on this one. Who does Neo want to kill? I think it's Mago. Why do I think it's Mago? I have no proof, but I think it maybe has something to do with unfreezing the other timeline, or maybe that maybe Neo wants to get rid of Leo because he stole his position or something like that. I have no ifs, ands, or buts, but I'm throwing it out there, gang. Of course, Cheongyam thinks that he sees Leo, and it's actually Neo, and he doesn't really understand what's going on, and he says how much he wants to screw over Urek to the princess, why he's getting involved. I think this is all shenanigans, to be honest. I don't see how the floor administrator didn't step in immediately when an unknown ranker or unknown entity, especially somebody who's from a Frozen timeline, didn't enter. But I don't know what's happening, guys. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, we move on to the Urek stuff. Urek's pissed because he wants to go deal with Gojong, the pig, but he can't because Mago's in his way, and Mago's trying to fight Urek and hits him. It's the first time we've seen Urek take a bit of damage, but Urek gets right back up and puts her in her place. And we get a little backstory here about Urek and Mago's relationship. It's very similar to what I guessed before, that Urek is the brightest jewel because he was trained by the previous luminous ones. I did say I think they invested their strength into a jewel that became like the strongest jewel, all the luminous ones, and Urek was born. And it seems like it's something around like that. We did get a bit of context on why the luminous ones aren't as, I would say, majestic as like someone may think. You know, because they all had egos, they all were fighting amongst themselves before, you know, this is why Phantominium was created, to kind of put them in check and put them in place. So you see that in Mago and how they treated Urek. Urek reminds me exactly of how Caliban used to be, where Caliban was kind of like not that guy, or like another comparison would be like Captain America, where he wasn't that guy. Now, granted, Urek wasn't given anything, but Urek became strong. The same way Caliban became strong even though he was given something. So Mago has like this deep weirdness about like her like prodigy beating on her. I don't know. But then we get the Leo pop up, okay? The Leo, this is actually, I can't even call this a clone, but the Neo number 2 where the Leo pops up and is absolutely positively glazing the fuck out of Mago, and then comes out with the stuff about, oh, I don't care who you are because you're disrespecting Mago. I don't even know if Leo's aware of who Urek is. You already seen Urek beat the shit out of Rahab, and you don't respect him. But because you're the floor test administrator from the other Frozen timeline, that you want to do like a floor ruler test for just Urek? Like, he's not gonna beat that too? Like, have you not seen this man's strength? I don't see the point in this. Like, there's nothing you could task Urek that he can't do, bro. Urek is literally high ranker level. I don't care what Leo does. There's nothing he can't accomplish. So I don't know where this is going. Like, it really got to be something ridiculous where he can't use his strength or something. I don't know. I did forget to mention that Heidi murked the other two test administrators, the one who was training Anima and the lighthouse user. I'm not surprised. We already called something like that would happen. That's not surprising at all. But I do want to also touch on that the angels and devils concept, which I talked about not only in my bomb origins video, which you want to check that out, but in a couple other videos, I've mentioned the emphasis that CU is putting on light and darkness, angels and devils, and this Urek telling Leo what angels actually are, and like really standing on this. It really talks and speaks to Bomb's character, who is a demon, who looks like a demon. The darkness looks demon-like. I don't know how the angels are calling themselves the light ones, even though they're the dark ones, because if she's being reborn by dark ways, then I don't know, guys. My head hurts. But I'll throw another thing out there. I think that Phantominium froze the timeline in order for Mago to grow at a certain rate so it wouldn't affect the tower's rate. So for example, right, we're always under the assumption that the outside flows differently from the inside. I think that Phantominium, by the way, this is a fire sale, so jump in on it. Phantominium froze a part of the tower so that Mago could grow at a different rate and then eventually enter the normal timeline and become the queen. Again, I have no basis on this. You could probably make an argument for me, honestly, guys, but I have no idea, okay? So, and then not only that, like, angels say they avoided detection. Obviously, that's not true, because at the end of this chapter, we see that the floor ruler named Asa or whatever, he pops up and he's obsessed with Mago. Looks like we're gonna get Kumashini Asenio and the other guy up against Asa, who's in the castle, which looks like abandoned only because the timeline's frozen. I understand that. Frozen timeline stuff, that makes my head spin, guys. Like, literally, oh, did Phantominium can freeze timelines in the tower that the floor guardians can't do anything about it? That is, yo, that I don't know, guys. I have no idea. How did Arlen get out? Oh, Phantominium froze apart a timeline that you can go in that timeline and then go out of the. I don't know. I don't know. I'm cooked. This chapter is cooked. And I'll see y'all for a stream. If y'all want me to stream, I'll probably stream on Saturday. Check me out. I'm out, guys. Peace.